What up? What up? Good morning, people.
This is the Vaggio Broadcast Show. Timpin
Timpin Salone.
Salone.
How you doing
We're
today,
it's
bro?
close to that time, but we're getting better. We're getting better.
How you doing today, brother Jabisky?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Man, I can't complain. It's blessed to be alive. But I got a question for you though.
All right, go ahead.
Would you let your kids play tackle football, or what age would you let them play tackle football?
Um, I don't know. It's very tricky question. So I guess the sport itself is very entertaining, but as we see like throughout the years, it's been there's like a lot of studies you see just even like watching the sport, you can just tell it's just brutal. Like now I can't when I watch a game, I'm like every time someone gets tackled, anytime someone gets hit, I'm like, damn, ooh, that that looks like that hurt. It's getting blindsided out of nowhere. So I guess health wise, if I were to have kids and they were interested in playing football, I would be very concerned, just like the health studies and everything. Um, I would say at first if they were interested, I would start them off with flag football, and then from there seeing what their interests are. But I would say it's hard decision because of the health factor. I would say I'll probably lean towards not having them play tackle football, but if they want to, like just do like a flag football, just play for fun. But with the health risk, I wouldn't be too comfortable. I'm not sure how my partner would feel at the time, but I guess I know I definitely wouldn't be comfortable. But I think at the end of the day, if they wanted to do it and they were very passionate about it, I guess you can't really stop them. But I would just be uncomfortable just due to all the health risks and the injuries. What do you think?
No, you said it. You said it well right there. I think that it depends on what the passion is. If that's his passion and that's something that he loves, and I think the best thing you could do in these situations is just make sure that both sides understand the risks and the effects. So I ask you this: do you think you can get CTE from playing football?
You definitely can. There's been there's been several studies on CT in football, but the crazy thing is you don't know until after the fact until you pass away. That's when they're only able to determine if you have CT when they study your brain. So I read too, like it might even be a concussion, just be like just the impact the sport has, or you might just have CT. But the thing is, you don't know about it until you're dead. So that's the hard part. Like some people they say like just depending on like how people act, like what how they are after football, that might give hints, but you never know. It's only until like after the fact we can determine like with the CT in football.
Mm, damn.
Yeah, it just
I
seems
was
like
about to
every
bring up
time I oh you go ahead.
you said what?
I was gonna every time it just seems like there's a significant injury. Like you can't watch a football game without seeing somebody get hurt. So even like with the kickoff returns or the punt returns, I would be so scared. Just it's just everybody just running after you. 'Cause when I see that, I'm like, oh no. There's like the clips of like people just getting just blitzed and blasted as soon as they get the ball. So it's just hard to watch at times. But it is an entertaining sport, and it's been a sport that's been here for a while. But I guess what I would ask you, I guess, where do you see it 10 years from now? You think it'll be safer to play, or you think it'll be even more dangerous to play?
I mean, I guess they're trying to change, the league now with the rules and not hitting the quarterback and stuff like that. But I think football by its nature is, it's a very uh, an aggressive game. I'll say that, But I think as long as the advertising dollars keep pouring in, I think the game is still gonna be being played. What you think?
Yeah, I think because of the money factor, the advertising is definitely going to still be played. I guess years from now, hopefully they might have some new rules, but there's overall because there's a tackling and your goal if you want to win, you got to get them down. That's basically your especially if you're a defense, you're paid to stop the guy, so you're going to be running to people, you're going to get hit. So there's only so much you can do. I think you really only just teach proper technique, but sometimes the instinct is just going to come into play to where like you're just trying to stop the guy. So freak injuries do happen. So I think years from now, they'll try and implement some like safety things, and maybe if it's new helmets, new padding to help. But I think overall, because of it's a dangerous sport, because you're tackling, there's always going to be that health risk factor.
How much money would it take for you to be a punt returner?
Oh man, I honestly don't know because it
Guaranteed
seems
though.
it's all guaranteed.
All guaranteed.
Hmm. Okay. It looks like they're just getting as soon as you catch. I guess you got fair catch. I'll probably fair catch
Nah, no fair
every
catching
time,
it. Take
but
it
no
back.
fair
Devin
catches.
Hester. No fair catches.
Oh man. Um, it would have to be at least 1 million going up from there. I think I might need 10 million. I don't
10
know.
million guaranteed.
Yeah, I think on the low side at least 1 million. I don't know how much the average special teams or punt returner makes, but I would say at the very least I would need at least 1 million. What about you?
It's not a number in the world. I got it. I'll leave the specialty to the athletes and the professionals. I'll say that.
Mhm. But if you had to do it, like there's no way out of it. If you had to do it, how much would it cost for you?
Be a punt returner. I'm gonna need at least a billion. Not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's true. At
Um,
least if you get taken out, your family's all straight.
nah, I need at least a billion for that because that's just you really got to understand it's the mentality of just being a football player, knowing that like if you hit a slant route, going against Ray Lewis or somebody like that, that's you got to be a
Oh,
brave guy. That's all I say. That
yeah, yeah. I know for me, like I was saying, for the million would be the minimum, but I would not. If I was forced, but if I wasn't, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be out there
a slant route against Ray Lewis, how much?
being forced to do it.
Slant route right into
Uh,
him. Slant.
um, and this is like a situation where I'm like, I guess hypothetically, I'm like built into it to where like I'm in NFL shape.
I don't care how much NFL shape you in. You ain't prepared for Ray Lewis. I don't care
Yeah.
how many weights you lift. That's Ray Lewis right there.
Hmm.
Prime Ray Lewis. Him and Ed Reed.
Oof. Mm. I don't,
I'm
I
playing
don't,
low.
it's,
I'm
it's got to
playing
be a
low
lot of money.
management. I'm low management that game. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
You think that a player should play during his contract year, or like set
Mm.
out for a risk of injury? A risk of injury.
Um, let's see. That's tricky because with the sport, one play can literally change your life. And so I support players if they're in a contract year wanting to sit out. I know there's people gonna be like, "Oh yes, what about the sport you signed up for? And you have an obligation to your team." But at the end of the day, you want to think about your long term. You want to think about yeah, just that and like your family. So I would say depending on like if it's a like for example a quarterback, they're gonna get they're gonna be one of the highest paid on the team. So I know there's the situation right now with Kyler Murray, how he's basically has the option for an extension, and then he wants to be paid a certain amount. Mind you, he's like 5'8" or 5'9", so and he's had an injury history, so he's trying to get his money now. But the team they might want to hold off because they haven't really seen what they need to see from him to make a long term commitment. So I would support sitting out because of the risk of the sport. But I would say if you have a year where like you want to have a prove it year where it might actually help you playing, but just you got to know the risk. So I would say you got to really evaluate your situation, and if it's a part where like you're injury prone or you're getting hurt each year, I would say sit out. But if you want to take that chance on yourself and show like, oh yeah, this is my year, this is my team, I'm going to show you why I deserve the money. I would go for it.
Mm, I agree with you there. I think it's a tough situation there because you always want to make sure that your ducks are always in a row and your chips are on the table, if you know what I mean. But that's a can actual players guarantee like have like a no injury clause in their contract before they sign or no?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. I know like there you might get like a certain amount for the contract, but part of it might be guaranteed, and there might be different clauses where like if you retire or if you for something happened to you, you might get a certain amount. It might not be the full amount. I'm not 100% certain, but I think they might have some instances where you might get part of the money, but I think overall because people are sitting out possibly or they might be running down their heads, I don't think it's not a lot or like most of it's not guaranteed. So I think that's probably why there's like that dilemma. I don't think all of it would be guaranteed.
Would you play if you were up for a contract here?
Um, I would say it depends on how I'm playing and how what is I guess what depending on like the agent that I have at the time, like what like what they're saying and like how what I'm projected to do. Like if I'm like trying to have a breakout year that can actually help, and then if I want to be committed to the team, I would play. But if I, for example, like each year I was getting injured, but then another factor is if you sit out and the team does better without you, then they're gonna are you really worth the money? So
That's a good point.
that's something I just thought of now. So I think if you really love the sport you're gonna play, I know I guess overall you want to have that guarantee. You don't want to impact your money, but I would say you might just have to risk it and then hopefully the benefits pay off and you outperform what you were originally projected to.
Yeah, I mean it's a double sided coin because a lot of times you can actually get your money, that you could be too expensive for the team. That they want to trade you after the first year and a half in your contract. But I think it's a double sided coin. I understand both sides. Because a lot of times you don't realize that with a lot of these organizations, some players are too expensive for the market. And they can't afford their contracts, or it's just a lot of stuff going on. But do you think sometimes the business side of sports, ruins like the art of or the love of sports?
Yeah, definitely. With the business, you might just be thinking about, I guess, when you're a child or when you're like a high school or college, that's all you really have just the love of the game. And then once you get to the pros, it's all about how much money you can make. Just in terms of like the team, like what's business friendly. At times, you want to be team friendly and try and win at all costs. So I think with the money, that's your main. That can be part of someone's main priority, just getting as much as they can while they're healthy. So I think with the business side, you have a lot of things going in your mind. There's a lot of stresses, and then you really have to outweigh like the costs and the benefits of playing. Like for example, like towards the end of your career, like with Tom Brady, he recently retired, and he's in his 40s now. So depending on like how he wants to leave the game, you want to leave the game where like you can still walk, or do you want to like give it your all and have that and try like win as much as possible? So I think with the business decisions, it's always different things going on regarding like what your team is going on, like what's going on with the business side as far as like your endorsements, what you're doing on the field, how much money you're making, comparing it to other people. So I think there's a lot of different factors that go into your mind. Whereas like when you're first playing, it's all just about the love of the game and the competition. So I think it definitely has you. It can be very stressful. You can be thinking of like all the different options and different variables in your head. So I think it ruins it, but I think that's ultimately what you sign up for, and that's what you evidently know, I guess, signing up for it. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I couldn't say it better myself. You feel me? Nice job there. I agree with
Thank you.
you.